Good morning, good noon, good whatever this is. I'm just kind of hoping that you can hear me and that we're here. I have no idea what's been happening. The title for today's talk is Keep an Open Mind. And I've got to tell you, for the past 18 minutes, that's what I've been trying to do. And I guess I succeeded because here we are. And with any luck at all, you can actually hear me as well as see me.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can.
Yes.
All right. Reason to celebrate. Keeping an open mind works. Because, boy, it was tempting to just clap my little mind shut and say, this isn't going to work, and let's go out for coffee. So, welcome, good noon. Welcome to our weekly spiritual spa, your Sunday spiritual indulgence. Um, we're here to make you feel better if you're feeling bad, and to help you feel even better if you're feeling fine. Nothing wrong with that for sure. And we can function as a spiritual urgent care if necessary. I was just doing a little of that on myself for the last 18 minutes. So I'm glad to be here, and I hope you have found me again. And if not, you can listen to this on replay. Ah, Jennifer's here. Okay. We have sound, we have picture, and we have Jennifer. I'm happy. So let's talk a little, shall we? I'm going to ask you to go within for a minute and just think on this idea that we are here to remember who we are. And who we are is children of creation. We are here to remember that we are created in the image and likeness of God, of creation, of whatever you choose to call the creative motivating force of the universe, because I don't think it cares what we call it. I think it does want to express through us. So we're here to heal our misconceptions about our relationship with the creative motivating force of the universe, aka God, and to release whatever beliefs we may hold that no longer serve us. We are here to be awake, to inspire, to uplift, to heal, and to make whole our families, our friends, our world, and ourselves. Ultimately, we are here to learn how to use our divine inheritance to make our lives and our world a better place. So, here's something to think about. Based on past experience, what does it take for you to change your mind? Think about those times in your life when the light bulb went off, when you were suddenly enlightened. What got you there? What does it take? And what might it take for you to change or upgrade your mind about your relationship with spirit? And are you open to that? Got it, Jennifer. Got the prayer request. Been praying for those people. We will add to. Let me write it down. Thanks for letting us know too that you have people there. That's makes it more personal, doesn't it? I mean, it's one thing to read about it or to see it on TV or to know about it and to certainly empathize with it, but boy, when you know people, that's now it's personal, not just theoretical. So you bet. Okay, so Jennifer's working on the question. Evidence of finally understanding a different perspective. Yeah, that's a biggie, isn't it? To to suddenly have that light bulb go off and realize that not only what is true for that other person is true for a perfectly good reason, but that that might also be true for you. Yeah. Yay, Heidi. Health. Okay. Glad you're both back in. I'm glad I'm back in. I have trouble believing that it took 18 minutes for me to. And I didn't change a thing. I just kept doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes Einstein's not right. But I kept getting this message from Facebook saying that page is not available. What? They said, and it might be because we're working on it. Okay, so it was their problem. That's kind of nice, actually. So let me talk about Fire Facebook. I may do that yet. Cac suggested at one point that I just go open up a Zoom thing very quickly and then she would post the link. But I thought, give it one more chance, and that's when it decided to work. Yay! We like that. So, what I want to talk to you about today is keeping an open mind. So, I guess my first question is, have you got an open mind? Have an open mind? It's meant to be both a question and an invitation. Because if you do have an open mind, then I have some ideas you might want to consider about making your life better, about dealing with life better, or making your life even more wonderful. If you're new out there and being quiet, but you're wondering about metaphysical spirituality, well, you've come to the right place. And if you've been around this kind of thinking for a while and this sort of spirituality, well, you've come to the right place. And if you've been steeped in metaphysics for decades, well, I'm going to be talking about some really basic ideas today. But who can't use a little refresher or a reminder every once in a while that this doesn't have to be hard? So if you'll keep your mind open, and if I'll keep my mind open, and I've already worked it once today, so now I'm on a roll, well, we might both learn a little something this morning. First, a reminder, a caveat, if you will, that having an open mind isn't about letting your mind be so open that your brains fall out. But it's also not about being so close-minded that you won't even consider ideas that just might possibly change your life. And maybe even the world. Who knows? For the better. So, I invite you to keep your mind open to some ideas that may not have been presented to you before, or which may have been presented, but which may not have fully sunken in, or which were presented and sunk in and you've forgotten. We all do that. And because we're talking about spirituality, we begin with an understanding of what it is that spirit does. Because otherwise, there's no point in talking about it at all, really. And we're always going to talk about what spirit doesn't do in the world and in your life. Simply, spirit, God, the Almighty. When we talk about it, we're talking about not someone sitting on a throne in the clouds, not someone surrounded by angels with harps. We're talking about the creative, motivating force in the universe. The energy that inspires, that uplifts, the thing that creates what looks like miracles in each of our lives and creates the universe, because that's what it does. And it nudges each of us through our dreams and our aspirations, and then it takes our belief in those dreams and aspirations and turns them into our lives and our experiences. It does, provided we believe and act on that belief. Ultimately, it is our participation that makes the difference. Our participation is first mental. You have to believe that you really can have whatever it is you want. Because if you don't believe you can have it, then there's not much the universe can do about that. And that is also provided it doesn't interfere with someone else's life, because that's not fair. It's your life you got to work on. So, what do you want? What do you want in your life that you don't have right now? Or what do you want to have be better? First, you have to know what you want. And if you want to know what you want, well, look to your dreams. Look to your aspirations. Look for clues. And then you have to know that there really is nothing, no matter how it appears, no matter what your previous personal experience may have been, that there is nothing, absolutely nothing that stands in the way of that, provided you believe that. And again, provided that it doesn't interfere with someone else's life. Here's the deal. If we supply the mental mold with what we believe in, spirit will fill it. What we believe in creates the mold. Think Jell-O. We have to know what our belief, what our faith is, and we have to know that it has power. We have to know that even if we have some doubts, we're allowed to have a few doubts, we can overcome them, and we can create the faith necessary to make our desires real. But it takes an open mind. If your mind is closed, if you say it can't work, then it won't. If you say it's too good to be true, or it's too simple, it's got to be harder than that to work, then that will determine your experience. If you say it's hogwash, then the hogs in your vicinity may be noticeably cleaner, but your life isn't going to be any better. Why would you want any of that? Let's go back to the Jell-O for a moment. It's not that I like Jell-O, frankly. I don't much care for Jell-O, but it's a great spiritual lesson. If you pour Jell-O into a mold, it takes that form, right? You can pour it into a bowl and it will take a bowl shape. You can pour it into a rectangular container. It will take that shape once it sets. You can pour it into a bunny mold and it will look like a bunny when it's done. It takes the form that you pour it into, right? It takes the form of the mold. It won't take any other form. It can't. The Jell-O doesn't care about the form that it takes, because it gets to be what it is. It's Jell-O, regardless of the form we give it. In the same way, spirit takes the form of our belief. It won't take any other form. It can't. It won't decide that's not good for us and don't do it. I love it when people say, well, maybe God just doesn't want me to have that. How many things in your life have you had that you shouldn't have had? Why didn't God not want you to have that? Spirit takes the form of our belief. If we believe it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. If we believe it's not going to work, it's not going to work. It creates according to our belief, and it doesn't care about the form it takes as long as it conforms to the mental mold that we have given it. Because it gets to be what it is. Spirit. Spirit expressing. Spirit expressing as the form that we have given it through our belief. If we give it a positive, constructive form, well, there it is. Positive and constructive. If we give it a negative and an undesirable form, well, there it is. If we give it no form, we get no particular form. And we get to experience wishy-washy, no particular form lives. And if we think that it will not work, it does not work according to our belief. We can't just hope it's going to work. Hope creates a hope mold, and hope isn't terribly proactive. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, wrote that hope is good, that it is at least better than despair. It moves us a little out of abject knowing that nothing is going to work. But he said it's a subtle illusion and an unconscious compromise. It creates equal space of yes and no, for positive and negative. It creates a vacuum of doubt. And in the space for doubt, nothing much happens. There's not really a place for doubt in active faith. So the second part of faith is to move in the direction of that which you desire. First, we claim what we desire positively. Not, gee, I hope I'm going to get well, or maybe this will go away, or this is never going to go away. But rather, I am well. I am strong. My health is returning strong. And then know that nothing has any power to stand against that. Then we prove our faith by actually moving in the direction we wish to go. We get off of our butts. But I can't, but I don't know how, but I don't know enough, but I can't be enough. And just start acting like we really believe that creation is behind us and that all things are possible and that what we have claimed for ourselves is the reality. So what would you do differently? If things are changing, if what you claimed is actually going to happen, what would you do differently? If we don't get up and demonstrate our faith, do something that demonstrates that we actually believe this is going to happen, what we are saying to the ultimate stuff, to the creative motivating force of the universe, is either I don't really believe anything is going to happen, so why should I bother? Or, okay, life, do it for me, and I'll be sitting here on my couch believing it, and I'll do something when I see it coming. It doesn't work that way. Life is neither going to do it for you or doing it to you without you. Life will do it through you when you believe it and show it by your actions. That's the way it works. When we really believe, when we act on our belief, things change. And we're prepared for it. We act on our belief when we believe, don't we? If we believe it's going to rain, we get out our umbrellas, we put on our raincoats, or we take our chances, but we probably don't wear our very best clothes. But if we don't believe, then we don't do anything. And if we ignore what we believe, we get wet. It rains on the enlightened and the unenlightened alike. If I believe I will be inspired, I buy the book or listen to the speaker. If I don't, I stay in bed or on the couch and nothing changes. And then I probably complain that nothing ever changes. If I believe even a little, and I get out of bed and do something that I think will inspire me, that I think I will, if I think I will hear something or feel something that inspires me, then I move. And if I believe that what I hear or read or am inspired by is true, it will come to pass. I've talked about him before, but I'm inspired by the work of Brother Wayne Teasdale, who was a lay monk who lived in a monastery for over 15 years and then taught at various Catholic colleges. He taught the concept of interspirituality, drawing, as did Ernest Holmes and most of the early metaphysicians, from the mystical heart of the world's religious traditions. Ernest Holmes used to say there was a golden thread that moved through all religions. A thread of truth, of change, of spirituality. Brother Teasdale's message was being a monk in the world required embracing engagement and not withdrawal. A spirituality, he believed, had to be deeply involved in the world, not a spirituality where you were off in a cave somewhere praying for the others, the unenlightened. I don't deny, he wrote, that Jesus and many other great spiritual figures went off for periods of time by themselves. And there are times, he says, when you were meant to do that, times when you must do that. And some, he said, I suppose are even meant to do that for the greater part of their lives. But, said Brother Teasdale, I'm not telling everyone in the world, I am telling everyone in the world, not to overlook the fact that there is a social dimension to their spiritual lives. And they need to be concerned about that part of themselves. They can't leave it to other people. They need to be engaged. And this engaged spirituality is one of the most important aspects of living as a monk or a mystic or a happier person in the world. In other words, what he was saying was that whatever it is that you want or need or desire or pray for, isn't gonna happen without you both believing in it and working for it. Personal involvement is a key ingredient. Life needs your direct participation in your own healing or changing or transformation. Ernest Holmes wrote, people often say, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make a choice. We must realize, he wrote, that there is an intelligence within us. The intelligence, I might add, that is nudging and urging and speaking to us in our dreams and visions. The intelligence that we trip over when we're on our way in the wrong direction. An intelligence that does know what to do. We simply need to pay attention to our dreams and desires and see how they line up with our gifts and talents and adaptability. Our inner guidance will point the way if we pay attention. The guidance is there for everyone, everywhere, always. And it was just as true 10,000 years ago, before the advent of Christianity, as it will be 10,000 years from now, whatever is going on in the world. The guidance comes from within, and we would do well to listen to that inner voice. It's the voice of God, of creation, within us. And it tells us of life wonderful, of a love that exists beyond our wildest imagining. When we learn to trust that voice, to step up and step out on its urgings, everything will change. Spirit works by responding. And we've got to put something out there for it to respond to. Or we respond to our unenlightened musings and complaints about the status of our lives and create more of that, because that's what it does. We need to prime the spiritual pump if we want a more successful life, if we want a healthier body, if we want more prosperity, more love, more appreciation, more whatever you want. If we want any of that, and who doesn't, we have to start really believing and really acting upon, really being an active supporter of our dreams through our thinking, our words, our faith, and our actions. There are those who believe that spirituality means feeling good about our spirituality. That it's a way of just feeling calmer and and better. And if we truly do, then it's truly working. But if, on the other hand, we're faking it, and there are those who do, then we're missing the point. No more lip service to belief. No more hoping whatever it is going to work out or go away. No more hiding our heads in the sand. That's not a true spirituality. Abandon hope, all ye who hang around here. Hope is an illusion. Faith has power. Have faith. Scripture tells us, eye has not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart or the dreams of humanity the things which Spirit has prepared for those who believe. And I'm going to add, for those who believe, and believing, start acting like it. Start taking action. That's the stuff of which heaven on earth is made. Why would you not choose that? Why would you not choose to live there? All right, I'll climb down off my soapbox. But I trust that you have learned or been reminded of something today, something important. I know I have. I trust that you will consider what has been said with an open mind. I don't ask you to leave your brain outside your body, but with an open mind to consider and to test the ideas that have been presented here. And to be faithful in your testing until the day comes, and it will, when what you have heard will become what you believe. And that, my friends, honestly, will change your life for good. End of soapbox speech. Oh dear, you have all been writing over here while I was chatting. We need advice to hold our minds open. Yeah, see, I love you guys. Because you're taking this and applying it to your lives directly, immediately. And that's the secret. That's the secret. Hello, Ginger. Hello, Geraldine. Glad you're here. I love you guys. Question me, question yourselves, question how it all works. And the only way you can really question it is to keep testing it. Don't just... I know you don't just believe it because I say so. But don't just believe it because it sounds good either. Test it, test it, test it, test it. Is it working in your life? Are you working it in your life? Keep thinking about the rain and the raincoat, you know? If you really believe it's going to rain, you're going to grab something, aren't you? At least an umbrella. I have a little ducky umbrella who lives in the car. What more can you do to prove the universe? To test the theory. Understanding that not only must you believe, but you must work, you must act on that belief. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Cliff notes are simple, Heidi. It's done unto you as you believe. And if you believe, you take action on that. It is a science. Absolutely. Yay. I think you all passed today. I hope I did. I outlasted Facebook's determination. So I feel like I did pretty good. Let's pray. I don't want that to get away from us because we've got some important stuff to pray for today. So if you will join me, close your eyes, if that's what works to bring you within. Otherwise, just soft focus. And before I say anything that sounds like a prayer, I want you all, at least for the moment, to commit to believing that whatever we say is reality. That we speak through the power of the Spirit within us. And that which we claim absolutely becomes reality. And we will hold that thought until we see it. Because we know that all that there is Spirit expressing. What a relief that is to know. Whatever it looks like, whatever it feels like, whatever our past experience with that image may have been, the truth is we know now that all that there is Spirit. Is that creative, motivating force that moves in and through everything and everyone and is the very life of the universe. Science tells us that whether we look through a microscope or a telescope, we are looking at the same thing. And at the center of it all is an unexplained intelligence. That intelligence lives within every cell of our body and lives within the farthest star and is really all that there is. So we acknowledge that and use that knowledge to create a better world and a better life. And we call it Spirit, we call it God, we call it the Force, we call it any number of things just so that we can talk about it. And it's more than any name that we can give it. But we claim that part of it that is who we are, that is expressing as each one of us. And we use that force, that intelligence, now to create a better world. And so we know that as we speak our word today, so things change, they transform, they heal. And we speak our word today for those people in the path of the storm that they have named Ida, and know that they are safe, that they are secure, that they have taken the steps, they have taken the actions that they need to take to be safe and secure, and so they are. And we claim that same safety, that same endurance for all of those in Afghanistan, for our military, for the Afghan citizens, for the citizens of the world. They are safe, they are secure. They are protected. that divine wisdom and divine right action takes place in and around them yesterday, today, and forever. We claim for our leaders and the leaders of the world clarity and wisdom in their decisions, knowing that the highest good is absolutely in action around the world now, and that action is being taken to support that highest good. I know for Lainey and her family, peace and the realization of divine right action. For all in the family, and particularly for Lainey, a swift and safe trip home. And knowing that all is well and that she does not need to control things, that God is in charge. I know for Heidi that her health is returning strong and fast, and that she is well. She is well now. And her body is just doing whatever is necessary to catch up in the world of time and space. But that she is well. I know for Jennifer that she is exactly as she needs to be to function perfectly in her business life. And I know for her children that the perfect house has found them, and that all that is necessary to make it perfect is done. I know for Heidi's project that her vision is divinely guided, and that whatever she needs to see or feel or interact with to realize that is absolutely revealing itself now. And there is no separation between the vision and the reality. I know for Dana peace of mind, strength, divine right action. And I know for John wholeness and the realization of his perfect self. I know for everyone who can hear my voice, whenever they hear it, the awareness of the divine in their lives, an awareness of the healing power within them, and peace of mind. I know divine intelligence moves within each of them, each of us. And wisdom is revealed. And I know that all is well. And I know that we know that all is well, regardless of appearances, for we must climb above appearances and lift them. We take a stand now from the highest point of view and call others up to us, that the spiritual truth may be revealed, and that heaven on earth may be demonstrated in each life. And I am so very grateful for the awareness of a higher truth, for the strength to hold to that awareness, for the ability to remember and live accordingly. And thankful for all of the demonstrations in each of our lives that reveal the presence of God. And we allow that to be so. We let go and we let God. And so it is. We have a closing song. Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you all. We got the kids in there, Jennifer. I'm feeling really good about them, like it's already a done deal. So that's where I want to be. Not in hope, in knowing. And I know for... Thank you, Jennifer. And so it is. Abracadabra. I create as I speak. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience as we got started today. Tell your friends. Have them check in. Today was kind of a basics talk, and it might be good for someone who's new to this kind of thinking. Have a wonderful, wonderful start of your new week. And I'll see you on Wednesday. 7 o'clock. Same place. Hopefully right on time. God willing and the creek don't rise. I love you all. Don't forget to listen to the closing music. God bless.